Our final guest speaker is Simone McKeown. Simone is the General Manager of Shared Services at SSH Group. Simone has over 15 years' experience in human resources, corporate services and operational roles, working with leading contracting, EPCM, consulting and owner-operators within construction, mining, oil and gas and not-for-profit arenas in WA. Simone is passionate about engaging and developing people, promoting the value of inclusion and elevating organisational capability to build and grow operational performance. Simone is the proud mother of 3 teenagers and an avid home gardener and cook. Simone is going to present everything and everyone is exactly as it should be. Let's welcome Simone.
When I started working with Katie-Jeyn, I knew I was doing something wrong. I just had no idea what. I had a fantastic start to my career, steadily progressing to achieve the role of Group HR Manager. I'd then been working at that level for nearly 10 years, but I could not get any further. I'd worked so hard, sacrificed family time, events, always doing the best for the business. Once I was unable to attend a family member's funeral. Despite all of this, I didn't get any recognition from above for the job that I was doing. I worked as a Group HR Manager 3 times for different organisations. I put in my all, delivered change, visibly led and role modelled the values, but the executives didn't see me as one of them. I did the work, I made them look good, that's all. Each time, the spiral to burnout happened, followed by a significant event. Marriage breakdown, health issues, and the third one was a termination. I'd built a fantastic team, introduced major changes, fixed non-compliances, but my boss didn't see any value. In fact, he had secretly hired the husband of his wife's friend to replace me. I had just delivered the workforce for their highest value shutdown ever, and then I was fired. I received a flood of messages once people found out. There was apparent outrage. Everything would be so hard without me, but I'd heard that before. Even my replacement reached out to say how much I had achieved, and almost all my team soon left to new roles. Luckily, a mentor offered some exciting strategic consulting work straight away, which was a lifesaver, because despite many interviews, I did not receive any offers of a permanent role. I soon became anxious and depressed as rejections came. I had reached a point where I could no longer sell myself in an interview. A turning point came when a former colleague requested my help with a dysfunctional team, one of my specialties. I was happy to help and eager for a new consulting challenge. I performed well during the week, but on weekends I was filled with anxiety, doubt and worry. I'd been following Katie-Jeyn on LinkedIn, but I hadn't reached out. Firstly, it seemed very glittery. Awards, hugs, woohoos, so much energy. I didn't feel that I would fit in with that. But secondly, to reach out would be a public acknowledgement that I was failing and needed help. Luckily, Katie-Jeyn made it easy with a post asking for people looking to accelerate their career. All I had to do was reply interested. That much I could do. The first coaching session was the start of rapid change. Katie-Jeyn pointed out 2 important answers, 2 in particular. I was damaging some important work relationships and I wanted to progress to a GM level, but I'd never set that goal. Within 2 weeks of that first coaching session, after months of rejection, I had 2 offers for permanent roles, both exciting opportunities. If it was humanly possible, I would have accepted both. But one edged ahead. It was GM level, not just of HR and IR, but also HSE and workforce planning. I was ecstatic. I believe there may even be a woohoo. My new GM role started exceptionally. I was implementing change, seen as a high performer, solving issues that had been roadblocks for months or years. My team was heading into norming and engaged. Then the honeymoon was over. I was in challenge mode and being tested. Some old habits returned, along with negative energy, anxiety and worry. Luckily, I had committed to the 2-day Build Your Brand and Increase Your Impact training. That timing was golden. The training wasn't stepping out of my comfort zone. It was more like being flung from a slingshot. On the training, I discovered everything and everyone is exactly as it should be. A simple yet profound notion of perspective which solved many things for me. This powerful reframe enabled me to have compassion rather than criticism, meaning I could nurture relationships that were key to my performance. I also had faith that I was always on the right path. Any door that closed wasn't for me, but where my path did lead would be exactly where I needed to be. Now 12 months in, challenges continue, but so do the wins. The most amazing challenge to me is that at the executive level, we consistently undergo major entity level changes. And as we transition, the future is not always clear. Shockingly, I'm fine with this ambiguity, no anxiety whatsoever. 12 months ago, there would have been a flood of anxiety and negative emotions. This change is partly because I now have recognition and a seat at the executive table, but mostly knowing that whatever eventuates is exactly my path. So my acceleration power tip for you is everything and everyone is exactly as it should be.
Amazing. Let's give a round of applause, everybody. So how do you feel?
Fantastic.
Fantastic. Let's give her another round of applause, everybody. I think you got a woo-woo. Woohoo. What an incredible journey. I think I've shared your story. I've shared it at the Ambitious Leaders Network, and I've shared it over and over and over again more than any other client. There you go. Did you know that? And that is because when you first met with me, you thought you had clarity. You thought you had clarity on the next mountain that you were going to climb. But it's one thing to have clarity. Your blind spot is you weren't congruent. Yeah, and I helped you become congruent. And then you created results, even before you started the training officially, yes. And then as you've just shared in your speech, because it's one thing to get that far, but you actually needed help to climb that mountain. Because as you said, bad habits come back. Yeah.
Let's talk about the next mountain.
Exactly. Yeah. And so I am so glad, because you are meant to be exactly where you are. Everything is as it should be. Yeah. And you are a phenomenal executive, and you deserve to be recognised for that. And I'm so privileged to have been part of your journey so far, and I can't wait to see what else we create together. Yeah. Let's give her a round of applause, everybody. Amazing. Thank you. Yeah.